If you find an exercise that feels good and you really feel that mind-muscle connection and the contraction in the muscle, go crazy, bro. Do 20 sets of that shit. Alright guys, we are back for another video. This one is going to be a little bit different to the other videos I've done so far. What I'm going to do is, if you've read the title, I'm going to take you through one of my training days whilst in quarantine, in lockdown, which is far from ideal. Hopefully for you guys still training at home, some of the exercises you see today and what I'll show you may prove useful to add to your routine. But before I get into that, I'm going to show you, if you're interested, what I take during my workout. Now disclaimer, they are all not needed. They make a very small difference. I'm talking 1 to 2%. Some creatine monohydrate. Now this stuff is probably the most effective and it's also really cheap, so it doesn't really matter where you get it from. It doesn't matter! Just your normal creatine monohydrate and you're good to go. The next one is BCAAs. Now these make a very, very marginal difference. So if your budget is tight, I don't recommend get this, it's not worth it. But if money is no object,
what I call them? Fun coupons! See that?
And you're competing, then the extra percent or 0.5%, they all add up when you're competing. So I have it 10 grams during my workout. The next thing I take is 15 grams of 100% glucose carbs. I really do feel the difference, especially towards the end of the workout. I still feel like I have that energy in the tank to give it 100%. A lot of people will say, well, why don't you just have just a straight up like sweet that's like 90% carbs and sugar. Actually cheaper per gram to get this, and also because it's straight up carbs, it's in a very digestible format, whereas you know like jelly babies have you know like thickening agents and like different things like that in there. Probably don't need it so much if you're bulking, but definitely if you're on a calorie deficit and you're cutting like I am, then this is a really good way to keep the performance in your gym high. L-glutamine, and that's in the same bracket as the BCAAs. If you're in a maintenance calories level or surplus, you do not need L-glutamine or BCAAs at all. If you're cutting, it might make that 1% difference. Those are the supplements I take. I was about to not include this, but sometimes you need a bit of pre-workout. I try not to use this every time. But when I'm really fancying a big session, or usually legs, it happens, I'll use some. But that is no different to having a coffee before you work out, so it just depends on the money you have to spare. It's not required. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's get into today's workout, which is going to be chest and biceps. Peace. Okay, we are back for my favourite day of the week, the chest and bicep workout. I'm going to whack the exercises on the right. As you can see, it's pretty simple. I've just basically picked out my 4 favourite exercises where I really feel it the most and feel the most tension in my muscles, and then I've scaled them up massively with sets of 6 and 7 so that I can really get the muscles worked, even though they're at home and it's not the best resistance ever. If you shorten your rest times and you up the intensity, then you really can get quite a bit out of your workouts from home. So hopefully I'll explain the exercises that I'm doing and you might be able to implement some of these in your routine. Alright, that is the 7 sets of banded flies to really get the blood flow into the chest and get a nice pump ready for the first compound exercise, which is going to be a bench press. Now you just got to get a little bit creative with what you do. Fortunately for myself, I invested in an easy bar with some plates. And this is my makeshift bench press now. You've just got to make do with what you've got, guys. So I'm going to place the bar on these two chairs, almost like a bench, and then what I'm going to do is, to make the most of my easy bar, I'm going to put on the plates, and then I'm also going to band it. It makes the exercise a little bit harder, and it also places a little bit more squeeze on the chest, because you can really squeeze your chest at the top and have the most resistance at that point. It's getting way too hot in here. For those of you that will be wondering throughout the video, I'll be wearing this Velcro waist trainer. There's not really a lot of scientific backing, but what this does is it helps me engage my core a little bit more during the exercise. A tiny bit of lower back support so I can really concentrate on the muscles that I'm trying to train. And also, hopefully it will train my waist to kind of stay a bit tighter. So when I'm up on stage and I'm having to flex and keep my waist in, then my body's kind of used to that pattern and used to that kind of feeling and movement. So it makes a marginal difference, if any, but if it does make any difference at all, then I'm going to do it. And plus, it's quite comfortable. There's no cons, I'm going to wear it. Let's get stuck into the bench press. Alright, so I can only apologise for my Sideshow Bob-esque hairstyle that I'm rocking. The hairdressers are opening very soon, and I can tell you I am very excited to get my sick fade back in the game. Now, I just wanted to highlight that my banded flies were not to failure. They were very short rest time, say 30 seconds, and they were just to really get my chest pumped. So then when I start the bench press, like you can see here, with the band over my back, as I'm pressing, I'm really thinking about my chest, and by kind of pre-exhausting it beforehand, my triceps don't overpower the movement, so I can just really feel that burn in my chest. My triceps are covered on my back days, which I'm sure I'll show you in the future. But this exercise is amazing. You have to try it if you have a bar or dumbbells. It works with both. Using the band behind your back is amazing because at the top you can really get some solid tension on all the muscles involved in the press. You can do this with dumbbells as well. If you have the band around your back and you push with those dumbbells. But seriously, if you really think about the mind to muscle connection and the contraction in the muscle, especially after you do the banded fly warm up and really get your chest firing, you do not need a lot of weight on this for it to be effective. I mean, you can see I've only got two 15 kilo plates plus a 10 kilo easy bar, so you're talking 40 kilos. You've got to really think creatively of how you can make these exercises more effective for what you have. That is 7 sets of the banded bench press down. Now, my next exercise is going to be sorry, you can't even see my head. Let's get this bitch even, man. There we go. So yeah, the next exercise is going to be a superset, the banded flies again, with a incline push-up using a chair with my feet up on it. Now the objective of this one is where as you grab the fly, the most tension on the banded fly is at the top, because that's where you've got the band extended the most and you've got the most tension on your muscle. So when you get down to here, there's considerably less tension on the stretch at the end of the muscle. So by combining that with an incline push-up press, where if you're on the incline, when you get down to here, that's where the most tension is on the muscle. So you're kind of supersetting 2 chest exercises where the first one has the most tension at the top and the second one has the most tension at the bottom. So you kind of get a nice round coverage of your chest. We'll start with the banded press. Gotta have that tunes.
Perfect.
Guys, I can only apologise for the exposure of my nipple.
It's one of those vests, everybody has them, one of those stringers that just has an ultra high risk of nip slip. Not ideal when you're in the gym, but you know, you've got to work with what you got. Now I wanted to go back to the bench press before and just say, I usually bench 100 kilos for 5x5, so the fact that I can get a really good solid workout on 40 kilos and a band just shows you how much you can do on a small amount of weight. But moving on to this next exercise, it is an absolute killer after you've been doing 7 sets of banded bench press. The superset of the chest exercises really just exhausts the chest and gives you a great workout. But you've got to really think about the squeeze on the chest. The mind-muscle connection is so important to getting the best out of these exercises. And especially on this incline press, it just absolutely annihilates the chest, and you can tell by the awful faces I make throughout this workout that you've got to push yourself at these home workouts, guys. And another thing I wanted to note on the side, guys, is by really training your mind-muscle connection whilst you're doing these home workouts, they will really benefit you when you carry them over to the gym once they open.
Now I'm going to finish off my chest with a set of push-ups till failure. If you've worked out intensely enough over the last 21 sets, you probably shouldn't get that many push-ups, and then we'll move on to biceps. Let's go.
Not again, man.
Is that possible?
What a loser.
Now it's time to move on to biceps. I'm going to use the easy bar from before. Do very low weight again, and I'm going to do curls, but really concentrate the squeeze at the top and let the concentric go down slowly. And I want to do that for about 6 sets as well. You're probably thinking that the set amounts are quite high, you know, like 7 sets or 6 sets, but guys, you don't have the options that you did in the gym. Just do whatever you wanted. So if you find an exercise that feels good and you really feel that mind-muscle connection and the contraction in the muscle, go crazy, bro. Do 20 sets of that shit.
You can do it! You can do it!
I know I was kind of joking about that just before, but if you do find an exercise where you really feel good contraction and you really feel like you've worked out properly afterwards, then really utilize that exercise that works for you, and don't be afraid to do 5, 10, 15 sets of it, guys. So for these bicep curls, these I really feel good contractions with. The main things I really focus on here is to make sure I lift my pinky up to the roof as much as I can, and I really squeeze my triceps at the bottom of the rep so I can get that full flexion in the muscle. So that's it, guys, my workout's done. I just thought I'd do a quick physique update and to show you guys how I'm currently looking. I'm really happy with how my off season went over the past year. I can definitely see that I've put on size in a few areas, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this competition will bring, and I will definitely do a video letting you guys know what my competition plans are for this year.
That is the workout done. I am ready for a post-workout meal now. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you found some of the tips and the explanations of my movements useful. If you have any of the equipment that I used, feel free to try out these exercises. Anything I did with the easy bar, you can easily do with a dumbbell or with maybe a thicker band, but that was it. That is my chest and bicep workout. If you liked the video, make sure you smash the like button. for that YouTube algorithm. If you want me to show you the other days on my 4-day split that I'm currently on, please smash the subscribe button. But until then guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Keep working hard, keep doing the workouts at home. I know they're not amazing, motivation is low. Trust me, my motivation is low, even though I'm on a competition prep. But just keep grinding away, and as soon as those gyms open, we'll be ready to smash it harder than ever. Alright, take it easy guys. Peace.